to say was, while I was in Berlin, I was watching these inner processes, watching things happen. And have you ever seen a swarm of birds or a school of fish, the way they move? I'm sure you've seen on some adventure TV or some, nature wildlife programs, you've seen schools of fish, how they swim. And it's very harmonious. They swim like as one thing. And then if you've seen, for instance, I was in Berlin. I was living in the very smack dab in the center of Berlin, which is a huge city, about 4 million people, 3.8 or something at the time when I was there. And if you see pigeons, the way they swarm, the way they fly, also again the same thing. It's like one thing. All of these pigeons, hundreds and hundreds of them, swarming and flying in a pattern, and then they all land at once, and then they all take off at once, and they fly together and they land together. And it's very interesting the way it looks like a wave, or it looks like somebody with a paintbrush, against the sky, So, and all the little dots are the little splatters of paint, but each little splatter of paint is a pigeon, and they're all flying in unison, in harmony. So, not very far from my house, I was walking, maybe 2-3 blocks from my house, from where I was living at the time, and suddenly, I was caught in German would say ein Strom. It was like a current of a river. I was caught like in a current of energy, and I just was pulled into the street. And I started crossing the street, but I hadn't even taken a moment to look and see what was coming, to see if I was going to get flattened by a bus or a truck or anything. And then I couldn't figure out, I said to myself, well, now, why did I just step out into the street so suddenly? Because I really felt something pulling me along. Okay? I looked across the street to see, and in this moment, I have to say that I saw with the eye of yoga. I saw with an inner eye. An inner vision. I saw energetically. I didn't see with my physical sense. The physical eye would see as patterns of light. It wasn't that. It was a seeing on a different level, and I was able to perceive that I had been pulled into a pattern of movement by a form walking in front of me. Another person, in other words, was walking ahead of me, and something was being emitted from that form. Some form of energy had pulled me into this movement of crossing the street. Now, I suppose that this is happening all the time to people, and we don't realize it. And that was at one point where I could absolutely feel and perceive that that's exactly what was happening, that I was being pulled by this energy. And these energies, we call them the gunas. There are 3 forms of energy which make up our human system, and which make up our physical universe, matter, where we're living, which is kind of like a bus stop. It's, in actuality, we're everywhere. We don't exist in one point in time, or one point in space. We are everywhere in truth. That's the truth. We are not limited in truth. But when we embody in the physical universe, in matter, we are accepting limitations. So we accept limitations of space and time. And yoga is about transcending that. Limitations of space and time. So, I'm not saying that anyone else is going to have this experience, but you might just be open for it, or consider it. And it may be that you've had some experiences which make you wonder about the way things are. So this is a confirmation for you. I had an experience. This person speaking to you had an experience, and that experience taught me that there is a force in the universe, there's a force in the physical, material world, which orchestrates the movements of things and beings which are here. It is not like in the movie, in this Benjamin Buttons movie, that things operate like a machine. Like, things do operate like a machine, but the machine is intelligent. It's not like a dumb machine, like a stupid machine that just, you press the button and if there's electricity going through the wires, then it moves. It's not like that. There is an intelligent force orchestrating matter. So another example I want to give, it's kind of funny. I was outside, and on this particular day, Brian said to me, he told me something that I should do. Now I've started to become a little bit more open to suggestion when people give me some idea, like you should do this today. Because what it is that intelligent force that's guiding the universe is speaking to me through that other person and saying, here, this is what you should do. So on that particular day, he said that I should go outside because there would be a lot of garage sales, and after the garage sales are finished, people would throw stuff on the sidewalk and I would be able to get things that I needed. So on that day, that's what he said to me, so I went outside and I found this book. So I found a couple of books, and one of them, somebody had seen, must have been around the time when the movie Titanic was made. Again, these movies are for what? It's to entertain you, and what is your entertainment? Your entertainment is to feel something, to feel terror, to feel frightened, to feel romantic feelings, to feel, attraction, to feel repulsion, to feel disgust, to feel elated, to feel joy. We go through all these things vicariously by watching movies, and also by watching other people, gossiping and being involved mentally, intellectually getting involved with other people. So somebody had purchased these books, and they had thrown them out. This one is about the answers to the questions about the Titanic, okay? And then there was another book in the same pile, Ghost Liners, okay? And I was looking at this book, and it was really interesting. There's a lot of pictures, and there's The Amazing Rescue, the collision of the Stockholm and the Andrea Doria. Now, this is a really interesting thing. And this is really how things work. People say, oh, if I had only done this, if I'd only done that, XYZ would not have happened. It's not necessarily true. Okay? Some things are meant to happen, and if you are being singled out by the hand of nature, by the mother, I'm calling it the mother, you're not going to be able to escape. Because if you, it just doesn't work like that. We are in the material universe. It is in us. We are in it. We are here. You can't escape it when you're here. You can't run away from it because it's everywhere. It's in you and you are in it. So if mother wants something, she's going to get her way, unless you are a truly liberated soul, a yogi who's gone beyond all of this force and has reached such a high state of realization that you can play along and collaborate with her without being subject to these laws. So some of these people actually do exist. They're very rare, very few, 1 or 2 or 3.